So Jan started with e4, and here we see a French defense by Praggnanandhaa. He played it before in this tournament, but the French is not necessarily the top defenses that you choose in the top level. We have d4, and here we have d5, of course, the main idea of the French. The most moves played is just e5, which is called the advanced French, and there it comes a lot of theory and a lot of ideas. There's also knight to c3, but here Jan chooses the exchange variation, and this is somehow variation when you don't want to go for a lot of theory, and you just want to have a safe variation and a quiet game. We have knight to c3, and here knight to c6 and knight to c3, and here somehow of not necessarily the best moves, but he wants to first of all get Jan out of theory if he knows this position very well, and also probably just preparing for knight to g6 and have somehow a weird position, and he will start playing from that. We have a3 by Jan, and here bishop to f5. You usually want to have great bishop here in this diagonal. There's of course knight to h4 in a lot of knights, but Jan here goes first of all with bishop to e3, just developing the bishop, and he says, you know what, I think with this pawn structure I would probably prefer to castle long side, not king side. We have queen to d7. This is also what Pragg says. He says, you know, myself included, I like this defensive pawn structure, so I also probably going to castle long side. Bishop to e2 developing, and knight to g6. Of course, this is the whole idea of playing knight to e7, is either to play something like this or probably something like this, but at the moment you don't have knight to f5, so you will just play knight to g6, and now your bishop is also free to go and develop. We have now h4 by Jan. When you have a knight here, you usually want to kick it out by playing h4, h5, but here Praggnanandhaa stopped it with h5 himself, and now can go like Jan can go like queen to d2 and try to castle long, but here he chooses to go knight to d2. First of all, prepare knight to b3 and have this great defensive structure, but also he wants to put more pressure on this pawn. So this is why Praggnanandhaa defend the pawn by playing bishop to g4, and here Jan completes his idea with knight to b3. We see bishop to e7, putting more pressure on this pawn on h4, and Jan just defended by playing g3. So the position somehow is definitely not equal. There's a lot of differences in the game. There's still a lot of life here, but here Praggnanandhaa first of all traded the bishops, the light square bishops, and here he played castles. Very importantly, Jan castles himself, and here queen to f5, centralizing the queen, having great diagonal here and here. So it's definitely the move that you want to play. And Jan think for some time, and he says, if I want to do something in this position, probably I need to play on the queen side, which is the place where the king is. I will try to play something and try to start an attack. This is of course a beautiful square. Probably I need to go for that, and he chooses knight to a4. So he wants to stick a knight here on c5. If you give your bishop, thank you, and I will check with the other knight. I will have so much great control of those squares. So here Praggnanandhaa thinks, and he says, no, I will not allow that, and he played knight to f8 with the idea that I want now to play knight to d7, and I will just challenge your knight on c5. We have rook to d3. Jan usually likes to do like rook lefts. Probably that was in all of his games a very bad decision, more than a good decision in Abasov's games and other games. So I personally don't know exactly what he wanted. Probably he wanted to bring the rook to the attack, but this is very stupid in this level. We have queen to d4, very beautiful. And here, if you trade the queens, it's very bad for you as white. The reason why is this f pawn here will be always a weakness, and later on it will be like there's no way for you to push it. So you don't want to go for that, and this is what Jan didn't go for. He went queen to d2. Now the queen, the black queen, is having great light squares, and this queen of white is not necessarily the best piece in the world. We have b6, just open knight to c5, and here Jan brings his knight back because knight on a4 got nothing really. We have knight to e6 developing, and here queen to e2. He says, you know what, I probably changed my mind. I think you have so much great diagonal here on light squares, so probably we need to exchange the queens. And this is what happened. Probably I don't know, Praggnanandhaa could have do something else, like, I don't know, bishop to f6, and says, okay, if you want to take, you need to take in my terms, not yours. But here he traded, somehow leaves this, the tension between the pieces, and here we see bishop to e6, taking control somehow of the light squares, and here bishop back to d2 by Jan. Also, he wants to keep control of the dark squares here on the queen side. We have a5 by Praggnanandhaa expanding on the queen side, and he wants to play a4, hit the knight, and this knight will be stuck. So you don't really need to allow this. So this is why Jan played a4. a4, you need, of course, to calculate if black can really win this pawn somehow, because it's hard to defend it. But black do not have anything to win it. We have knight to e7 and just rook to f3, try to hit this pawn, nothing special. So this is why Praggnanandhaa played f6 and bishop to f4, try to trade the bishops, and Praggnanandhaa says, yeah, we can do that. Yeah, first of all played c3, and the idea of c3 is just, you want to defend this pawn. Yeah, it is defended for the moment twice, but you need to make sure that those pieces will not stuck forever defending one pawn. You need just to make sure that you can free the pieces afterwards. And here, after the trade of the pieces, you will find that it's equal material. The pawn structure is somehow different, but we have three pawns on the king side, 3 pawns on the king side, 4 pawns in the queen side, and 4 pawns in the queen side. So it's not like a lot of different. And also we have the same material. So 2 knights, one knight each, and 2 rooks for each player. But the thing is, black is probably better. And here Praggnanandhaa start with knight to d6. And the reason why black is much better, or I will not say much, because much is of course an exaggerating, but this file, sorry, is the only open file, and black is the only one capable of taking it. So after knight to d2, stopping then the black knight of coming to those beautiful squares, and this is a very beautiful move by Jan. Now we see rook to e8, and white cannot challenge the rook on e8. So black got the only open file. But of course, that's not necessarily the reason why you're gonna win the game, but it's just a great thing to have always. So if anybody is better here, it's definitely black. We have king to d1, preparing for rook to e1 and challenging the rook, and he says, I want to double up, so you need to hurry up. And here you need definitely to play rook to e1, because if black managed to double up, you can start to lose move by move. So here, after king to d7 activating the king, we have rook to f3. The idea that I now want to play rook to e3, and I am now the one with going to have the control of the e file. So this is why Praggnanandhaa exchanged the rooks, and here he gives another check. You can't really block here because that's very stupid. I think the only reason why it's stupid, not necessarily, sorry, this is weird. The only reason why it's stupid is that, yeah, you are exchanging, but you're creating for yourself weaknesses here and here. And this black can, in a way, over smart this knight here. So I don't know, knight here is probably the first move you have in mind, but here the engine suggests just king to e6, and the king will march in and try to win the game, winning the pawns. So of course you can't really challenge or stop the check with the rook. So after king to d1, we have king to c6. He just wants to go to the queen side, try to collect the pawn somehow. We have rook to f4 with the idea I want to play g4. This is the whole idea. And if I play g4, my rook will not be that stupid, and it will have some life sharing on, I don't know, some pawns at least. And here Praggnanandhaa played b5. He wants to activate his king. We see ab, and king is coming to take those pawns here, or at least try to have a way to promote this a pawn. And Jan did that against Vidit, so he knows that's not something I should just let. I need to do something about it. We have g4, very important, and a4 now is very beautiful to see, because it stopped b3, and now we have some ways of playing, like knight here, try to trade the knights and come in, and probably white will be in trouble. But Praggnanandhaa chooses to take here, and that's not necessarily a great thing, because after rook takes, now you have some weaknesses yourself, so you need to defend them. So Praggnanandhaa defend with rook to e7, and now just b3, just stopping a4. So now you don't have a4 as black, and that makes a lot of difference, and you don't have any even knight to c4. A very important detail. So a4 takes, nothing special, and now king to c2, just stopping the king anyway to move or anything, and also you just want to have also yourself an active king. Knight to f5, rook here, knight back, and here after some moves here, the players ended the game in a draw, and yeah, that was it. Xian at the moment, I am recording this game, is the solo leader, but of course there is still other games, so we're gonna see a lot of different things going to happen, and of course the standing going to be different at the end of this crazy round, which is the round 12. So yeah, guys, that was the game. I hope you enjoyed it, and see you in next videos. Goodbye.